In April, another big superstar that is, I mean, a huge specimen of a man, Don Leo Jonathan, defeated Guy Mitchell to capture the Pacific Coast Heavyweight Championship. And Jonathan, he was just a massive babyface, right?
He was, and I would put him right up there with Kaniski on a list of, wrestlers who really kind of embodied what wrestling in the Northwest was about during that era. They were both international superstars. Yeah, Jonathan was still traveling a fair bit in the mid 70s. He was wrestling in Montreal in the eastern US and eastern Canada as well. But every time he was able to work in Vancouver, yeah, I think there was a big reaction to him. And he's one of those guys who settled in British Columbia. That became his home. He ran a business outside of wrestling in Vancouver. And I think he's just one of the most respected figures in the history of wrestling in the Northwest for sure. And he was a great athlete to boot. Um, you probably couldn't find a more credible champion than Don Leo Jonathan at that time.
So he only held the belt for just a couple of weeks, and he loses it to Siegfried Steinke, who
Yes.
was one of the tag champions in Amarillo in West Texas in '74. And then he worked in San Francisco territory for a little while. And then he comes in here to Vancouver in the spring of '75. He gets a win over Don Leo Jonathan, and he gets an NWA World Championship match with Jack Briscoe. And in those days, you didn't have to win the title. If you just got a match with the champion, your credibility got raised. And so I guess they did that to raise Steinke's profile in the territory and have him as a drawing heel. Huh?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't unusual in that era for the NWA champion to wrestle the regional champion. But yeah,
Often to
Siegfried
a draw, or
often to a draw, or at least, yeah, some